Chapter 870, Turning the Tide, 1, Twisting Heaven and Earth. Ha ha ha, you're really bold. Chu Xing didn't expect Xiao Changtian to be so arrogant, but since he said it, he would satisfy him. Alright, then the two of us will write these 4 big words and see who can write them better. Chu Xing nodded. He wanted to make Xiao Changtian admit defeat. Then, the two of them began to move their hands. Chu Xing spread out the xian paper he had brought with him and began to move his hands. On the other hand, Xiao Changtian was still slowly spreading the paper while Chu Xing was dancing on the paper. After a while, Chu Xing finished writing the words twisting heaven and earth. That Taoist Chu Xing is indeed a person who has practiced calligraphy for so many years. I seem to feel the power of the great Tao in this calligraphy. Looking at Chu Xing's calligraphy, the surrounding onlookers exclaimed. When they saw the two people writing calligraphy in the glorious Star Restaurant, they could not help but come over. When they saw the words written by Chu Xing, they were all extremely surprised. He seemed to be Chu Xing from the Jade Nether Kingdom. Finally, someone in the crowd exclaimed. What? It was that calligraphy saint, Chu Xing. Upon hearing this name, the people in the crowd suddenly became excited. They did not expect that this Taoist Chu Xing would actually come to their star town. This was simply big news. I never thought that I would be able to see Taoist Chu Xing's handwriting in my lifetime. Yes, this word is simply a divine stroke. No one can compare to him. At this moment, everyone around was praising the 4 words written by Chu Xing. Hearing the praises of the people around him, Taoist Chu Xing had a smug look on his face. He knew that his name was still very useful. Wasn't he recognized? Hearing the praises of the people around him, Taoist Chu Xing smiled and nodded at them. As expected of Chu Xing. He's actually so amiable. He even nodded at us just now. Yes. I wonder if I can ask him for an autograph later. On the other side, everyone was praising Chu Xing while Xiao Changtian was pointing at the beginning. What is that Taoist Chu Xing so proud of? Let's see how Senior will make him admit defeat later. Looking at Chu Xing and the white beasts, he said disdainfully. He would let this Taoist Chu Xing be smug for a while longer and see how Senior would crush him later. Under such circumstances, Xiao Changtian finally began to write on the paper. Twist. Looking at the white paper, Xiao Changtian murmured. Turn. Qian. Kuan. These 4 words were written by Xiao Changtian in one go. It's done. Looking at his own handwriting, Xiao Changtian gently put down the brush in his hand. Ha ha ha, you're finally done. Let me see how good your writing is. After saying that, Chu Xing was about to take Xiao Changshan's words and mock him. However, just as he walked to Xiao Changshan's table, his pupils constricted and his face was filled with shock. At the same time, his body trembled slightly. Did you write this? Then, Chu Xing looked at Xiao Changtian in shock. He couldn't believe that this mortal in front of him could actually write such words. The words in front of him were not just words, but even the energy contained in them did not dare to look directly at them. At this moment, the words twisting heaven and earth were no longer words, but could really turn the world around. Immediately, Chu Xing quickly moved his eyes away from Xiao Changshan's words. He felt that if he continued reading, not only would he be able to turn the tables, but he would also be able to turn the tables. Hey, old man, I wrote these words here. Did everyone see it? Xiao Changtian rolled his eyes at Taoist Chu Xing. Could it be that this Taoist priest Chu Xing wanted to go back on his word? However, he would not give him the chance to go back on his word. Then. You were also the one who wrote the signboard for Glorious Star Restaurant. At this moment, Chu Xing finally believed that the plaque outside was written by Xiao Changtian. And he had unintentionally offended such a senior. No, I said, what's wrong with you, old man? I said that I wrote that plaque from the beginning, but you didn't believe me. Looking at Chu Xing in front of him, Xiao Changtian was getting impatient. This old man was really looking for trouble. He would definitely kick him out later. Alright, since both of us have finished writing, it's time to determine the winner. Then, Xiao Changtian placed his words together with Chu Xing's words without hesitation. How is it? This time, he would let everyone decide whose handwriting was better. Xiao Changtian turned around and said to the people around him. Everyone was attracted by Xiao Changshan's words. There were also many cultivators around. When they saw Xiao Changshan's words, all of them widened their eyes in surprise. They couldn't believe that someone could write to this extent. Twisting heaven and earth. It can really turn the tables. Looking at Xiao Changshan's words, the cultivators around him murmured. They could feel how powerful Xiao Changshan's words were. Not good. Everyone, don't look at it yet. The energy in these words is too strong. We can't resist it at all. Immediately, someone shouted. That person only looked at it for 2 seconds, but he could feel that his soul was being attacked by the words twisting heaven and earth. This Xiao Changtian was simply too terrifying. Compared to Chu Xing's words immediately dimmed. It could even be said that with Xiao Changshan's words beside him, no one would notice Chu Xing's words at all. Even an ordinary mortal could feel a majestic aura from Xiao Changshan's words. This aura was something that Taoist Chu Xing could not compare to. I didn't expect that this Taoist Chu Xing couldn't even compare to the owner of the Glorious Star restaurant. Yes. I wonder how the title of calligraphy saint landed on Taoist Chu Xing's head. At this moment, the moment Xiao Changtian took out his calligraphy, everyone's attitude changed. Each of them praised Xiao Changtian, and each of them doubted Chu Xing. How is it? Who do you think will win? Xiao Changtian asked with a smile. Senior, is there a need to ask? Of course you won. Who the hell is that Taoist Chu Xing? He can't even compare to you. Limitless, who was standing at the side, immediately stood up and said loudly when he saw the situation in front of him. Chapter 871, Unacceptable. 1. It had to be said that this was really venting his anger. That Taoist priest Chu Xing had thought that he was a big shot just because he had some status in the Jade Nether Kingdom. Now, he had been slapped in the face by a senior. This was really venting his anger. You guys. Alright, I admit that your calligraphy is indeed better than mine. I admit it. Chu Xing had never suffered such humiliation before. This was the field that he was best at. He had lost to a mortal in calligraphy. He had used the spirit brush, while Xiao Changtian had used the most ordinary brush and ink. Chu Xing couldn't accept all of this. He didn't expect that Taoist Chu Xing didn't go back on his word. Xiao Changtian thought that Taoist Chu Xing would go back on his word and run away. He was already prepared. He didn't expect that Taoist Chu Xing would admit it. Since you've lost, then give the spirit brush to Senior. Looking at Taoist Chu Xing, Limitless mocked him. Looking at how arrogant they were, Chu Xing gritted his teeth in anger. These people were simply too infuriating. After this incident, he would definitely think of a way to teach these guys a lesson. Finally, looking at Xiao Changtian in front of him, Chu Xing reluctantly took out his spiritual brush. After all, he was a public figure. Although this place was not big, if it was spread that he had broken the bet, not only would it affect him, but it would also affect the person behind him. Hurry up and bring it over. Seeing Chu Xing's hesitation, Xiao Changtian impatiently took the brush from his hand. Is this pen not good either? I thought it was something good. Looking at the spirit brush in his hand, Xiao Changtian criticized it without hesitation. He wasn't targeting Chu Xing, but he had seen many brushes that were much better than this one. And now, this old man, such a lousy pen, was so precious to him. He must have been scammed by someone. It seemed like he must have been scammed of a large sum of money. However, he still had to accept it. After all, this was a lesson for this old man. He wanted to see if this old man would still cause trouble for no reason next time. Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, Chu Sheng was furious. It was fine if his treasure had lost, but Xiao Changtian still said that. Although Taoist Chu Sheng was very angry, he couldn't do anything about it. After all, this person's calligraphy was so awesome. He didn't know how strong he was. If he didn't have eyes, he would definitely be finished. Humph. Looking at the current scene, Taoist Chu Sheng knew that there was no need for him to stay any longer. Hence, he glared fiercely at Limitless and the others before leaving. Haha, this is too good. That old man should be treated like this. Wu Jiang said happily. Do you still know each other? Xiao Changtian looked at Boundless and asked. Of course, senior. That Taoist Chu Sheng is a sarcastic hypocrite. This time, it can be considered a fierce slap to his face. Limitless didn't hide the fact that he knew Taoist priest Chu Sheng and confessed openly. I see. No wonder you look so distressed. This pen must have cost that old Taoist a lot of money. However, to him, this pen was useless. He would just put it away and eat the dust. By the way, Lorraine, how's the income of our glorious star restaurant in the past few months? Xiao Changtian turned around and asked. Senior, don't worry, I've calculated it for you. In these few months, your net income is 500,000 gold coins. Looking at Xiao Changtian, Lorraine immediately reported. 500,000. Xiao Changtian was very surprised when he heard this number. He didn't expect it to be so much. It was beyond his expectation. He didn't expect this glorious star restaurant to be so popular. However, Xiao Changtian thought about it again. Although it was so much, if he exchanged it with the system, it wouldn't be worth much. But senior, I have a piece of news that I don't know if I should tell you. Looking at Xiao Changtian, Luo Lan said hesitantly. It's okay. Go ahead. Xiao Changtian was a little confused. Was there anything wrong with this? That's right, senior. You originally wanted to have an income of 700,000 yuan, but Pixiu. He ate 200,000 gold coins. We managed to hide the remaining 500,000 with great difficulty. Luo Lan said to Xiao Changtian with some embarrassment. Although she didn't know if the senior would be angry, she knew that this matter couldn't be hidden. What? How much did you eat? Xiao Changtian couldn't believe his ears. Did Lorraine just say 200,000? Could it be that he had heard wrongly? Senior, you didn't hear wrongly. The Pai Xiu ate 200,000. Lorraine said helplessly. After all, they couldn't directly attack the senior's pet. They could only slightly block it, although it wasn't very useful. Hearing Luo Lan's confirmation, Xiao Changtian almost fainted. He was wondering why he hadn't seen the Pixiu in the small courtyard for the past few days. So it turned out that they had come here to steal food. However, this was too much. 200,000 gold coins. That was 200,000 gold coins. How long would it take for him to earn it back? No, he had to teach Pixiu a good lesson. If he dared to eat again, he had to break his teeth. On the other side, in the territory of the demons. Sixth brother, are you going to find trouble with Xiao Changtian? What's wrong? The devil asked as he looked at Sacred Master 6. Of course, I want Xiao Changtian to die a horrible death. This time, he didn't get any useful information. He was even taught a lesson. He didn't expect that he would be taught a lesson by the demonic flame sacred lord not only at Xiao Changshan's place but also when he came back. And all of this was because of that kid called Xiao Changtian. When had he ever been bullied like this? This time, he had to teach him a lesson no matter what. But didn't the demonic flame sacred lord warn you not to go find Xiao Changtian? What's wrong? The demon asked carefully when he saw the anger on Sacred Master SX's face. If he doesn't let me go, can't I go secretly? Saint Master 6 glared at him and said. Don't follow me this time. You guys are simply burdens. Thinking back to what happened last time, Holy Master 6 was still angry. If it wasn't for the fact that these people didn't bring gold coins, would they have ended up being criticized by everyone? This time, he must make Xiao Changtian suffer. Chapter 872, Anger, 1. On the other side, Xiao Changtian angrily found Pai Xiu who was hiding in a corner of the Glorious Star restaurant. Damned Pai Xiu, I'm going to teach you a good lesson today. Looking at Pai Xiu hiding in the corner, Xiao Changtian grabbed him by the back of his neck and pulled him out. Pai Xiu, who was dragged out by Xiao Changtian, looked at Xiao Changtian with a wronged expression, as if Xiao Changtian had done something wrong to him. You stole so many of my gold coins, and you still feel wronged. Looking at Pai Xiu, Xiao Changtian said fiercely. This Pai Xiu had eaten so many of his gold coins, and even its body was much bigger than before. It seemed that the 200,000 gold coins were not wasted. Woo, woo. Pai Xiu looked at Xiao Changtian questioning him and whimpered in grievance. Senior, it's all my fault. I couldn't keep an eye on Pai Xiu. At this moment, Feng Ling'er suddenly appeared and looked at Xiao Changtian. Because Feng Ling'er was afraid of Pai Xiu, she didn't dare to care about Pai Xiu, which was why such a big disaster had happened. Ling'er, this isn't your fault. This Pai Xiu naturally likes this gold coin. However, after this incident, this Pai Xiu could forget about stepping out of the courtyard. After that, Xiao Changtian angrily dragged Pai Xiu and walked towards the courtyard. Along the way, Xiao Changtian kept teaching the Pai Xiu in his hands a lesson. Because Pai Xiu had eaten too much this time, even Xiao Changtian, who had a good temper, couldn't help but get angry. In the future, you should stay in this small courtyard. Without my order, if you dare to step out of this small courtyard, watch how I teach you a lesson. After a while, Xiao Changtian walked to the small courtyard and threw Pai Xiu into the courtyard. Xiao Changtian said fiercely. Oh right, Ling'er, don't dare to touch these animals just because you offended me. If these animals dare to do anything, teach them a good lesson. Xiao Changtian turned around and said to Feng Ling'er. Alright, senior. I'll remember it. Feng Ling'er nodded at Xiao Changtian. Pai Xiu, who was thrown into the courtyard by Xiao Changtian, walked to the white tiger with a wronged expression. Brother Hu, what should we do? Master is angry. Pai Xiu looked at the white tiger with an aggrieved expression. I told you not to eat so much, but you didn't listen. Master is angry. We can't do anything about it. The white tiger looked at Pai Xiu and said helplessly. This Pai Xiu was so gluttonous. Moreover, he ate his master's favorite gold coins. Now that he had been discovered, how could he not be scolded by his master? Perhaps you can make up for your mistakes. At this moment, Black Tortoise looked at Pai Xiu and said. Make up for it? How? Hearing this, Pai Xiu immediately perked up. If he could really make up for his mistakes, then his master would definitely be happy. If Senior was happy, he might not restrict his freedom anymore. To Pai Xiu, staying in this small courtyard and not being allowed to go out was a very uncomfortable punishment. Isn't it easy to make up for your mistakes? You can find more gold coins than you eat and bring them back to Master. When Master sees so many gold coins, will he be angry? Black Tortoise looked at Pai Xiu and said indifferently. Good idea, Brother Turtle. Why didn't I think of this? When Pai Xiu heard this idea, he looked at Black Tortoise in surprise. As expected of an old bastard who had lived for such a long time. The idea was good. Don't call me Brother Turtle. I've lived much longer than you. I can even be your grandfather. Black Tortoise glanced at Pai Xiu helplessly and said. All right, Master Turtle. But now, Master doesn't even let me out of the small courtyard. How can I find so many gold coins? Then, Pai Xiu said helplessly. Are you stupid? Why don't you sneak out? The white tiger smiled and said. Anyway, Senior isn't in the small courtyard most of the time. Even if you sneak out, he won't know. Brother Hu, you're right. I understand. Hearing White Tiger's words, Pai Xiu nodded in agreement. Anyway, Feng Ling was afraid of him. He would sneak out and find the gold coins and bring them back to his master. His master would definitely be happy. Meanwhile, in the barbarian sect. The barbarian tribe sect master looked at the barbarian tribe elder in front of him with a determined expression. This time, well, apologize to that expert properly. I wonder if that expert will forgive us. The barbarian tribe sect master looked at the barbarian tribe elder and said worriedly. Ever since the barbarian tribe's sect master had experienced that incident, he had been very regretful. After returning, not only did he apologize to the barbarian elder, he also taught Manly a lesson. This damned Manly actually dared to provoke such an expert. Although that expert had said that he would let him go before he left, the barbarian sect leader still felt uneasy. He was very afraid that if that expert was suddenly unhappy one day, he would casually destroy their barbarian sect. Thinking about the consequences, the sect master of barbarian sect felt his hair stand on end. The barbarian elder shook his head helplessly when he saw the leader of the barbarian sect. Back then, he had advised this sect master, but he refused to listen. Now, he had to provoke that expert. That expert had a bad impression of their barbarian sect to begin with. After the sect master's interference, they actually wanted that expert to forgive them. However, the barbarian elder did not dare to tell the barbarian sect master about this. Sect master, as long as the things we bring suit that expert's wishes, he might forgive us. The barbarian elder looked at the barbarian sect master and said slowly. Oh right, I brought so many artifacts this time. It doesn't necessarily suit the master's heart. Oh right, elder, hurry up and call over the beautiful women who were paid tribute by the other sects the day before yesterday. Then, the sect leader of the barbarian sect thought of something and quickly said. Not long after, the barbarian elder brought the beautiful women who had been paid tribute by other sects 2 days ago. Haha, I'm really smart. That expert might not be interested in the treasure aura, but these beauties were not ordinary. Such a woman was rarely seen in the Jade Lake sacred world. Presumably, that expert had never experienced it before. Looking at the few women in front of him, the barbarian sect master said with a satisfied expression. It was not because of anything else, but because these women were very different from the women in the Jade Lake sacred world. This is a woman who has paid tribute to other sects, but she is a legitimate woman. It had taken so many years to find these lamia. From this, one could see how rare lamia were. That expert must not have experienced it before, because the few snake girls in the Jade Lake sacred world were all here. If these snake girls can make the master happy, then the master will definitely not pursue our barbarian sect. Chapter 873, Pixius Operation, 1, Sect Master, your method is really thoughtful. Looking at the few snake girls in front of him, the barbarian elder nodded. Presumably, that expert did not lack women by his side, but he definitely lacked these unique women. No matter what, he would just follow the sect master. However, in that case, we should go a few days later. These snake girls must be properly nurtured in the middle gate for the next few days. The leader of the barbarian sect looked at the snake girls in front of him and nodded. On the other side, the great elder of the prophecy pavilion had also arrived at the glorious star pavilion. Senior, when are you going to look for the next spirit tree seed? He looked at Xiao Changtian and asked the great elder of the prophecy pavilion. Naturally, the sooner we find it, the better. Xiao Changtian looked at the Great Elder and replied, "What's wrong? Great Elder, do you have something you need my help with?" If not for something, the Great Elder of the Prophecy Pavilion would not have come to find him at this time. "That's right, Senior. Our Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets does indeed have a matter that requires your help. It's about the demons," the Great Elder of the Prophecy Pavilion said with a serious expression. "Great Elder, if you have anything to say, just say it. I promised you before that I would help you." Xiao Changtian was not surprised when he heard this because he had heard that the demons were becoming more and more rampant. "Senior, with your answer, I can be at ease. However, this matter will have to wait a few more days because the specific situation has not been confirmed." The Great Elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets nodded. He was afraid that Xiao Changtian would go to find the seed of the spirit tree and would not have time to help them deal with the devil race. "Since I've promised you, then you can rest assured. I can wait for a period of time before looking for the spirit tree seed," Xiao Changtian replied firmly. However, at this moment, the first elder of the Prophecy Pavilion suddenly felt that something was wrong. "It's really strange. Why is there a demon aura in this place?" This was because the Great Elder's cultivation was not as profound as the Pavilion Master's. Therefore, when the demons possessed ordinary people, the Great Elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets could not see through them at a glance. "No, this must be the aura of a demon." The Grand Elder of the Prophecy Pavilion looked around with a serious expression. "Mn, did that person from the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets discover me?" Sacred Master 6, who had possessed an ordinary person, looked at the Great Elder of the Prophecy Pavilion and muttered guiltily. This time, in order to find trouble with Xiao Changtian, he had deliberately robbed a lot of gold coins before coming. Moreover, he thought that his disguise was flawless. And how did that person from the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets discover him? He must have been too worried. He just had to pretend to be an ordinary person. Strange, is this the aura of the demon race? The first elder of the Prophecy Pavilion looked around and muttered with some uncertainty. "What's wrong with the Great Elder? Is there something going on around here?" Xiao Changtian asked curiously as he saw the Great Elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets looking around with a mysterious expression. "It's nothing. I think my eyes are playing tricks on me." The Great Elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets tried to sense it again and found that the aura of the devil race had disappeared. He smiled apologetically at Xiao Changtian and said, "Damn, I thought something was wrong." The Great Elder's actions made Xiao Changtian wary. In the end, the Great Elder was wrong. Xiao Changtian was relieved. "Phew, you scared me. Fortunately, I reacted quickly," Saint Master 6 said guiltily. Fortunately, when he saw the Great Elder of the Prophecy Pavilion, he quickly tried his best to conceal his aura. That was why the Great Elder of the Prophecy Pavilion did not sense it again. "Since there's nothing else, then Senior, I'll go back first." After bidding farewell to Xiao Changtian, the Great Elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets walked out of the Glorious Star Pavilion. "Ha ha ha, Xiao Changtian, let's see how I'm going to deal with you this time." The Great Elder of the Prophecy Pavilion had already left. Saint Master 6 came back to his senses and looked at Xiao Changtian who was far away. At this moment, outside the Glorious Star Restaurant, Pai Xiu was crouching in the dark. "I didn't expect that the owner's Glorious Star Tower had the most aura of gold coins," Pai Xiu said helplessly. Originally, he had planned to find a place with a lot of gold coins and steal them back for his master. He didn't expect that the place with the most gold coins aura would be his master's Star Flower Restaurant. "I definitely can't touch master's gold coins. In that case, he'll find the customer with the most gold coins in the Glorious Star Restaurant." Pai Xiu thought of this and nodded. Then, in order not to be discovered by its master, Pai Xiu quickly concealed its aura. Pai Xiu jumped onto the window sill of Glorious Star Restaurant. "Wow, that person actually took so many gold coins. When Pai Xiu jumped onto the windowsill, he saw Sacred Master 6 sitting there. At the same time, Pai Xiu could feel that Sacred Master 6 was the one who had the most gold coins among everyone present. Since that's the case, my target this time is you. Pai Xiu looked at Holy Master 6 and chuckled. Then, Pai Xiu jumped to the feet of Sacred Master 6. Meow, meow. Before this, Pai Xiu had transformed into the shape of a cat. Therefore, he was squatting beside Holy Master SX's feet and meowing. Where did this cat come from? Saint Master 6, who was thinking about how to deal with Xiao Changtian, suddenly heard a meow. Go to the side and play. Don't disturb me. Looking at the Pai Xiu under his feet, Holy Master 6 said impatiently. I'm so cute, and you're chasing me away. Hearing Holy Master SX's words, Pai Xiu said, however, you're going to be so unlucky that it'll steal all your gold coins. I won't fuss over it with you. Then, Sacred Master 6 saw Pai Xiu jump to his side. Why is this silly cat so annoying? Seeing Pai Xiu jump to his side, Holy Master 6 said impatiently. Then, Holy Master 6 impatiently stretched out his hand towards Pai Xiu, wanting to chase this damn cat away. However, before Sacred Master 6 could make a move, Pai Xiu jumped onto his body and quickly ran away. F***ck, how F***king unlucky. Sacred Lord 6, who was shocked by Pai Xiu's actions, said angrily. However, Saint Master 6 immediately suppressed his anger because the white beast was walking towards him. Waiter, is your boss still the chef today? The Sacred Lord immediately called out to the white beast. Aya, this customer, our boss is not that free, the white beast said with a smile. However, the other chefs in our glorious star restaurant are still very good. Alright. In that case, give me a few signature dishes. Holy Master 6 replied in disappointment. He didn't expect Xiao Changfeng to not cook today. Chapter 874, East End Robber, 1. This was because the person that Sacred Master 6 possessed was completely different from the previous person. Therefore, no one realized that the person who came this time was still Sacred Master 6. Soon, the table was filled with dishes. Saint Master 6 looked at the table full of dishes and fell into deep thought. How should he make Xiao Changtian pay the price this time? I have it, I still have the green devil worms. At this moment, the Saint Lord suddenly remembered that he still had the green demon worms. This kind of worm was colorless and tasteless. When he ate half of it, he would put it in the dish and then extort Xiao Changtian. Thinking that Xiao Changtian was going to be blackmailed by him, Saint Master 6 was so happy that he started to eat the dishes on the table. Not long after, Holy Master 6 began his own actions. Waiter, come here quickly. Why are there worms in your meat? After putting the green demon worm into the meat, Holy Master 6 shouted at the people in the glorious star restaurant. This time, he wanted to attract more people and put Xiao Changtian on the spot. Sir, what's wrong? The white beast ran over when it heard the sound. How do you cook in this place? Why are there worms in this dish? Sacred Master 6 pointed at the green demon worms on the table. It shouldn't be. How can the dishes in our Xinhua restaurant have worms? The white beast looked at the green bug in surprise. The white worm was still lying on the meat, looking especially disgusting. I don't care. Hurry up and call your boss over. I want to ask him what's going on. Holy Master 6 shouted with a righteous expression. What happened? What happened? However, before the white beast could move, Xiao Changtian walked over and asked. Xiao Changtian was about to leave when he heard a commotion. He walked over and asked. Boss, quickly take a look at what's going on. There are worms in your vegetables. Besides, I don't think this is simple. Then, Sacred Master 6 began his plan. I know that even if you come into contact with this kind of insect, it will be fatal. Your Star Glory restaurant actually joked about the safety of your customers. Fortunately, I saw it. If I had accidentally eaten it, I would probably be dead by now. Sacred Lord 6 then looked at the people who were eating and shouted. Everyone, it's best to eat slowly. Be careful of such insects in the dishes. If you eat these insects, it'll really kill you. Saint Master 6 sneered at Xiao Changtian. Xiao Changtian looked at Sacred Master 6 as if he was looking at a retard. Sir, do you have any evidence to prove that this worm is in our dish? Moreover, such a poisonous worm is still alive and kicking. I'm afraid you didn't put it there yourself. Xiao Changtian retorted. Pfft, I put it there myself. Why should I find trouble for nothing? Saint Master 6 didn't expect Xiao Changtian to react differently from him. What else? It must be because you realized that you didn't have the money to pay for your meal. Just think of this despicable move. This reminded Xiao Changtian of the same thing that the last customer said to him. He looked at Holy Master 6 with disdain. Damn it, I have plenty of money. Is there a need not to pay for your meal? When he thought of the previous incident, the Sixth Lord's face still felt like it was burning. However, this time, he had robbed quite a lot of gold coins. He could even afford to pay for 10 meals, let alone one. After saying that, Holy Master 6 was about to take out the gold coins that he had just robbed. However, what he did not expect was that even after he searched his entire body, the coins he had just robbed were gone. What happened? This was impossible. He had put his own blood in this pocket. Saint Master 6's expression changed, and he touched his pocket in embarrassment. I knew it. This person must have no money to pay for the meal and found this excuse. At this moment, the surrounding people were all attracted over. They didn't believe the words of Sacred Master 6. Tisk, white beast, I'll leave this person to you. I still have something to do and will go out first. Xiao Changtian rolled his eyes at the Saint Lord. Why are there always people trying to escape orders? No, I must set a rule in Glorious Star Restaurant in the future. Hey, don't go. Saint Lord 6 said anxiously as he watched Xiao Changtian leave. He really didn't expect that all the gold coins he had robbed would disappear. Dear customer, if you really can't afford to pay for the meal, you can stay in Xinghua Restaurant and wash the dishes for us. The white beast also looked at Sacred Master 6 with disdain. Sigh, I didn't expect this person to be so shameless. Wait for this person. Wasn't this the person who robbed someone at the East End this morning? At this moment, someone in the surroundings suddenly exclaimed. Robber from the East. It's him. At this moment, the surrounding people all reacted. Wasn't this person in front of them the one who robbed the east side of the Star Tremor this morning? He didn't expect this person to dare to come to the Glorious Star Restaurant for a meal so openly. Not good, how did I get exposed? Sacred Master 6 did not expect that he would encounter such a thing when he had just begun to display his abilities. Seeing that the situation around him was not right, Holy Master 6 immediately ran towards the entrance of the Glorious Star Restaurant. Damn it, if this place wasn't the territory of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets, I would have revealed my true form long ago. Sacred Master 6 cursed as he ran. Starry Town was the secret pavilion's territory, and the pavilion master was in the town. If he used mana recklessly, the secret pavilion's members would definitely hunt him down. Not far away, Pai Xiu looked at the fleeing Sacred Master 6 and chuckled. That guy's money was actually stolen, but it was just nice to hand it over to the owner. At this moment, in Star Magnificent Tower. D*MN, it really broadened my horizons. There are actually all kinds of people now. The white beast sighed. That person really made people speechless. After robbing, he still dared to come for a meal. The white beast shook its head. It had wasted another table of food. On the other side, in the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets. Sect Master, Senior has already agreed. When we go, we just have to call him. The great elder of the Prophecy Pavilion said to the Pavilion Master. This matter will probably have to wait for some time. After all, the Jade Nether Kingdom has yet to give me an accurate reply. The Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets said indifferently. This time, the Jade Nether Kingdom had made a mistake. Not long ago, the Jade Nether Kingdom had sent a request for help to the Prophecy Pavilion, saying that the demon race had invaded. However, just as the Prophecy Pavilion wanted to clarify the matter, there was no further response. Chapter 875, The Barbarian Sect Master wants to apologize. After the Barbarian Tribe's Sect Master had trained the few snake girls in front of him for a few days, he looked at them with a satisfied smile and said, "Not bad, not bad. I believe that when you go, you will definitely steal that expert's soul." These snake girls had been carefully trained by him. They were definitely confident in going this time. At this moment, Manly suddenly walked out from the side. "Father, are you really going?" Manly looked at the leader of the barbarian sect and asked. "You little brat, if it weren't for you, would I have gone through so much trouble?" Looking at Manly, who had suddenly stood out, the leader of the barbarian sect said angrily. After being lectured by the barbarian sect leader, Manly stood at the side, feeling wronged. Hence, the sect master of the barbarian tribe glared at Manly before leaving with his men. "That damned Xiao Chang Tian, Manly, will never let him go," Manly said viciously as he watched the sect leader of the barbarian sect leave with his men. Manly hated Xiao Chang Tian very much. His father had gone to avenge him, but when he came back, the result was not what he had imagined. Instead, his father had scolded him fiercely. Manly couldn't understand. Wasn't it just Xiao Chang Tian? What kind of ability did he have? Even after he came back, his father's attitude towards him had completely changed. Now, he even wanted to use Snake Girl to make Xiao Chang Tian happy. All of this was simply too absurd. "Son, calm down. I'm afraid your father has something to hide." At this moment, Manly's mother stood up and said. "That Xiao Chang Tian is just a mortal. What difficulties does my father have? What could be so difficult to say?" When Manly heard his mother's words, he retorted impatiently. "Since father is like this, then don't blame me. When the time comes, I'll go find that Xiao Chang Tian myself." After Manly finished speaking, he angrily turned around and walked away. On the other side, after a few days of running around, the barbarian sect master and the others finally arrived at Starry Town. "It's this Starry Town. When we find Senior later, be alert." The sect master of the barbarian sect turned around and said to the people behind him. "Sect master, we all understand." The few snake girls and the great elder behind him nodded. After a while, they arrived at the Glorious Star Restaurant. "White Beast, why are there so many people outside Glorious Star Restaurant?" Lorraine said in a panic when the barbarian sect people arrived at the entrance of the Glorious Star Restaurant. D*MN, it's true. These people aren't here to cause trouble, right? Seeing so many people from the barbarian sect come out at the door. The White Beast was also a little panicked. This was because the White Beast knew that these people were from the notorious barbarian sect, and the one leading them was none other than the leader of the barbarian sect. This barbarian sect. How dare you come to this place? At this moment, Lai Jing walked over and said. What's wrong? Little Jingzi, did the people of the barbarian sect offend you? Hearing Lai Jing's resentful words, the White Beast asked doubtfully. Exactly. That barbarian elder wanted to snatch my sister away, but fortunately, Senior's Qilin helped me chase them away. The people of the barbarian sect deserve to die. Lai Jing didn't hide anything and slowly told him what had happened to him. He hated the barbarian sect very much and wished that all the members of the barbarian sect would die. "Hey, what are you people doing in front of our glorious star restaurant?" Then, the white beast stood up and said to the sect master of the barbarian sect. "We are here to find Changtian, Senior Shao. I heard that Senior Shao is at your glorious star restaurant. I wonder if we can meet." The leader of the barbarian sect smiled at the white beast. At this moment, the few people who were watching by the side were surprised. When did the people of the barbarian sect become so polite? This didn't fit the style of the barbarian sect. Although the white beast was also very surprised, it still said with a serious expression, "Senior isn't an idle person. You can't meet him just because you want to. Huh, brother, just do us barbarian sect a favor and let us go see Senior." The leader of the barbarian sect was not angry at the white beast's words. Instead, he smiled and said, "What qualifications do you have to see Senior? With your barbarian sect's conduct, Senior definitely doesn't want to see you." At this moment, Lai Jing walked out and said fiercely to the sect leader of the barbarian sect. "This barbarian sect is getting more and more shameless. Now, they actually have ideas on Senior. Isn't this the barbarian sect?" That's right, that's right. Isn't the leader of the barbarian sect?" At this moment, many people gathered outside the glorious star restaurant. These people looked at the sect master of the barbarian sect and pointed at him. This was because many people knew what kind of person the barbarian sect was. The barbarian sect loved to do things that made people angry. Now, instead of staying in the territory of the barbarian sect, they actually came to their star town. "Brother, look at the people around you. Can you make an exception and let us see Senior?" The sect master of the barbarian sect looked at the people around him and felt a little awkward. He did not expect these people to be so blind. Why did she have to come and point fingers at them at this time? If it wasn't for the fact that they wanted to leave a good impression on their seniors, they would definitely have killed all these townspeople. "Yo, why is it so lively?" At this moment, Xiao Changtian suddenly popped his head out from the second floor of the glorious star restaurant. He was also attracted by the noisy scene downstairs, so he stuck his head out curiously. Senior, do you still remember me?" When Xiao Changtian showed his head, the leader of the barbarian sect shouted in surprise. "You are that lunatic." Xiao Changshan's face changed when he saw the leader of the barbarian sect. Why was this lunatic looking for him again? "Senior, what is a lunatic?" "I am the leader of the barbarian sect." "Senior." The leader of the barbarian sect shouted happily at Xiao Changtian. "Senior, I have something to tell you. Is it convenient for you now?" Looking at the leader of the barbarian sect, Xiao Changtian was even more certain that the leader of the barbarian sect was crazy. "White beast, quickly let them come up." Xiao Changtian, who was upstairs, said to the white beast downstairs. He was afraid that if the psychopath below suddenly went crazy and hurt the others around him, it would not be worth it. The white beast hadn't expected that Senior would actually ask the sect master of the barbarian sect to go up. But in the end, he could only helplessly agree. Chapter 876, I've delivered the snake girl, 1, huh. Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, the leader of the barbarian sect walked in excitedly. When he walked to the white beast's side, he even cast a cold glance at it. "Little Jing, this barbarian sect's sect master is too detestable. Just looking at him makes me hate him." Of course, the white beast also noticed the attitude of the leader of the barbarian sect towards him. Then, he looked at Lai Jing and said, "Although I don't know what Senior is thinking, Senior definitely won't let him off so easily." Lai Jing comforted the white beast. After all, that barbarian sect was annoying. The leader of the barbarian sect slowly led the crowd to the second floor of the glorious star restaurant. "Senior, I finally see you again." When the leader of the barbarian sect saw Xiao Changtian, he immediately ran over and said enthusiastically. Xiao Changtian looked at the leader of the barbarian sect with a bitter smile. He really didn't know how to deal with this psychopath. Senior, I know I offended you last time, so I came here to apologize. The leader of the barbarian sect looked at Xiao Changtian and continued. Actually. You don't have to be so, Xiao Changtian said with a smile. The greatest apology to him would be to never appear in front of him again. Senior, that won't do. I've been busy for several days to prepare something good for you in order to apologize to you this time. The leader of the barbarian sect smiled at Xiao Changtian and said. Quick, First Elder, let those few out. Then, the leader of the barbarian sect turned around and said to the barbarian elder. With that said, under the lead of the barbarian elder, the few snake girls outside the door walked in one after another. After a while, Xiao Changtian saw a few women with long legs, white skin, big breasts, and big butts. He could even see some snake scales on their bodies. Just as Xiao Changtian was looking at these snake girls, they smiled at him and said, Hello, Senior. What does that mean? Xiao Changtian looked at the snake girls and said with a dumbfounded expression. Could it be that the sect master of the barbarian sect was giving him these women as compensation? Senior, you didn't see wrongly. The few people in front of you are the rare snake women in the Jade Lake sacred world. These snake girls were different from ordinary women. I can guarantee that these lamia will definitely make you comfortable. The leader of the barbarian sect said with a smile as he looked at the lamia and Xiao Changtian. Xiao Changtian finally understood what the leader of the barbarian sect was thinking. However, even if these snake girls were rare in the Jade Lake sacred world, he was not interested. The leader of the barbarian sect also noticed that Xiao Changtian was not interested in these snake girls, so his expression changed. This was a rare snake girl in the Jade Lake sacred world. How could Senior not be interested in them? Or could it be that even these Senior Lamia had played before? Then, didn't he not make Senior happy by coming to apologize to him? Xiao Changtian noticed the change in the leader's expression. Immediately, he cursed in his heart. Could it be that this psychopath was angry because he said that he didn't like the snake girls in front of him? If he was really angry, it wouldn't be good if he went crazy later. I really like these snake girls from the barbarian sect's sect master. Let them stay. After weighing the pros and cons, Xiao Changtian smiled at the leader of the barbarian sect. The leader of the barbarian sect heaved a sigh of relief when he saw Xiao Changtian finally get rid of the snake girls. As long as they accepted these snake girls, Senior would definitely forgive them. However, it seemed that no one could resist the charm of these snake girls. At first, he thought that Senior didn't like them. He didn't expect Senior to be pretending in front of him. Senior, please don't pursue the matter from last time. Then, the leader of the barbarian sect asked Xiao Changtian carefully. Don't worry, sect leader of the barbarian sect. I don't care about what happened last time. Xiao Changtian knew that the sect master of the barbarian sect was afraid that he would go and find them. However, with his strength, how could he be so stupid to find trouble with a sect? Then the few of you, hurry up and serve Senior. After hearing Xiao Changshan's words, the leader of the barbarian sect immediately turned around and said happily to the snake girls behind him. No, there's no need. Thank you, sect master of the barbarian sect. I have my own arrangements for them. Xiao Changtian smiled awkwardly at the leader of the barbarian sect. He was not interested in these women at all. The leader of the barbarian sect was really making him feel uncomfortable. Oh, Senior, I understand. You just want to take advantage of the time when no one is around. The leader of the barbarian sect smiled at Xiao Changtian. Xiao Changtian knew what the leader of the barbarian sect meant, but he shook his head helplessly. What is that damned barbarian sect master talking to Senior inside? He hasn't come out for such a long time. At this moment, the white beast and Lai Jing, who were downstairs, were looking upstairs anxiously. But you don't have to worry so much. No matter what that barbarian sect master does, he can't possibly hurt Senior. Lorraine said as she walked to the two of them. The sect master of the barbarian sect can't hurt Senior, but I'm afraid that the sect master of the barbarian sect will play some dirty tricks again. Lai Jing said angrily. This barbarian sect master looked like a decent person, but he was actually evil to the bone. If he dared to come up with any bad ideas, he would not let him know how powerful he was later. Senior, since I've already sent this Lamia over, well, go back first. The leader of the barbarian sect smiled at Zhang Tian and said. The mission this time could be considered to have been successfully completed. As long as it was manly, he would never cause trouble again. Then this senior would definitely not take revenge on their barbarian sect again. Since you want to leave, I won't send you off. Xiao Changtian couldn't wait for this lunatic to leave. Seeing that the leader of the barbarian sect was finally leaving, he heaved a sigh of relief. Finally, under the watchful eyes of the people downstairs, the leader of the barbarian sect walked out with the barbarian elder in a triumphant manner. What happened? Why didn't Senior look for him and let them go just like that? Lai Jing said angrily as he looked at the proud expressions of the barbarian sect's sect master and elder. Little Jingzi, calm down. Senior might have his own plans. Although the white beast was also very surprised, it did not react too violently. Chapter 877, Snake Girl has sent it over. 1. At this moment, Xiao Changtian was looking at the few snake girls in front of him. He frowned and thought about what to do with them. Senior, do you need our service? Senior, you don't have to be so polite. Senior, we're here. After the barbarian sect master left, the snake girls all smiled and walked towards Zhang Tian. No, there's really no need. You don't have to come over. Xiao Changtian waved his hand and said as he saw the snake girls walking towards him. Aya, Senior, you don't have to be so polite. The barbarian sect master has taught us many things. One of the snake girls stepped forward and touched Xiao Changshan's chest. That's right, that's right. The barbarian sect master has taught us many things. Don't worry. Another snake girl stepped forward, smiled at Xiao Changtian, and placed her hand on his leg. Senior. At this moment, Lai Jing suddenly stood at the door. He looked at the scene inside and stood there with his mouth agape. Senior, the door isn't locked. Lai Jing stammered as he snapped out of his daze. He then closed the door behind him. He had originally wanted to ask Senior why he had let the sect master of the barbarian sect go. Who knew that she would see such an erotic scene as soon as she went upstairs? Sigh. Sigh. Listen to my explanation. It's really not what it looks like. Xiao Changtian didn't expect that he would be seen by others before he could react. Don't touch me. Stand still. Xiao Changtian said to the snake girls. Little Jingzi, so fast. Why did you come down so quickly? Did you find out anything? The white beast asked curiously as it watched Lai Jing come down from upstairs. Do not look at evil, do not look at evil. Lai Jing muttered as he looked at the white beast. Hearing Lai Jing's words, the white beast was confused. What do you mean by don't look inconvenient? Little Jingzi, what are you talking about? However, at this moment, Xiao Changtian walked out of the room. He stood in the corridor on the second floor and said, White Beast, Lorraine, come up quickly. I have a task for you too. All right. After the white beast and Lorraine looked at Lai Jing, they went up to the second floor. That barbarian sect actually sent over so many snake girls. I can't deal with these snake girls now, so why don't we just leave them in Glorious Star Restaurant? Xiao Changtian looked at the two of them and said indifferently. What is it? Snake girl. Senior, is this snake girl going to stay in Glorious Star Restaurant? The white beast and Lorraine were shocked when they heard Xiao Changshan's words. The two of them knew that Snake Girl was a rare item in the Jade Lake sacred world. He didn't expect the barbarian sect to be so generous as to send such a rare thing over. No wonder Senior let them go. Yes, I already have an idea. Let them perform at Xinghua restaurant. They can dance on the stage during dinner. Xiao Changtian nodded and said. With the help of these snake girls, Gloria Star Restaurant's business would probably be even more prosperous. He was really a genius. This idea was really too brilliant. Senior, are you sure you want these snake girls to perform in the Gloria Star Restaurant? After all, such a rare species was enough to shock many people. But now, there were so many of them at once. Senior didn't keep them for himself, but actually wanted them to perform in Xinghua Restaurant. I'm really sure. I've already considered this matter. Just do as I say. Xiao Changtian waved his hand nonchalantly. He wasn't interested in these snake girls anyway. He might as well let these snake girls help him earn some money. On the other side, in the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets. Pavilion Master, urgent report. A member of the secret pavilion quickly ran to the Pavilion Master's room and said. The Pavilion Master of the secret pavilion looked at the secret report in that person's hand and his expression became serious. You can go down first. The Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets said to him after receiving the secret report from the person. Pavilion Master, is there a new situation in the Jade Nether Kingdom? The Great Elder of the Secret Pavilion said as he looked at the letter in the Pavilion Master's hand. It is indeed from the Jade Nether Kingdom. Then, the Pavilion Master quickly opened the letter. Damn it, this demon is simply too detestable. After reading the letter in her hand, she said angrily. Pavilion Master, what's wrong? What's going on? The Great Elder of the Prophecy Pavilion immediately went forward and asked when he saw the Pavilion Master's reaction. This damned demon actually allied with the Jade Nether Kingdom's imperial family. Many sects in the Jade Nether Kingdom had been invaded by the demons, the Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets said. This demon is actually so cunning now. He actually allied with the Jade Nether Kingdom's imperial family. The Great Elder's expression darkened when he heard the Pavilion Master's words. By the way, Pavilion Master, how did you find out that the Jade Nether Kingdom's imperial family is colluding with the demons? Then, the Great Elder looked at the Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets and asked. Although there's no concrete evidence, the Jade Nether Kingdom's king has already come to a conclusion after a few days of observation. Moreover, it was not strange for the demons to do such a thing. The Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets looked into the distance and said slowly. Pavilion Master, when are we going to help the Jade Nether Kingdom? After all, the longer this matter dragged on, the more people the demons would hurt. There's no time to lose. Since the Jade Nether Kingdom has sent out such a letter, it means that the Jade Nether Kingdom's ruler is no longer able to deal with such a situation on his own. He could tell from the contents of the Pavilion Master's letter. At this moment, the Jade Nether Kingdom's king was panicking towards the demons. In that case, he'll go find Senior immediately. After saying this to the Pavilion Master of the Secret Pavilion, the Great Elder walked out. Not long after, the Great Elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets arrived at Xiao Changshan's Glorious Star Restaurant. Senior, 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 Senior. Just as the Great Elder of the Secret Pavilion walked into the Glorious Star Restaurant, he saw a few snake girls inside. Then, he stood rooted to the ground in shock. Aya! Great Elder, you're here. Xiao Changtian, who was standing inside, said with a smile as he watched the Great Elder walk to the door. Great Elder, why are you standing at the door? Come in quickly. Senior, Senior, these are snake girls. Looking at the few snake girls in the room, the Great Elder of the Prophecy Pavilion slowly asked. This lamia is a rare species. How did Senior get so many of them at once? That's right. These are the snake girls. If we let this snake girl perform in the Glorious Star restaurant, it will definitely increase the customer flow in the restaurant. Xiao Changtian looked at the snake girls and said with satisfaction. Chapter 878, Pishio is the most naughty. 1. Senior, you're playing true flower. I can't help but admire you. Looking at the scene in front of him, the great elder of the pavilion of heavenly secrets could only give Xiao Changtian a thumbs up. Just these snake girls alone could attract countless customers. Senior, you have a business mind. This move was really brilliant. Why are you looking for me for the elder of the pavilion of heavenly secrets? Xiao Changtian came back to his senses and asked the great elder. Senior, didn't I come to look for you a few days ago? It was that time when the other party replied to the matter of the demons. That's why the pavilion master wants us to go as soon as possible. The great elder of the pavilion of heavenly secrets looked at Xiao Changtian and said slowly. What about the demon race? In that case, they'll be ready to set off at any time. Xiao Changtian looked at the great elder of the pavilion of heavenly secrets and became serious. Alright, senior. Pavilion master means that if it's possible, we can set off now. The great elder nodded at Xiao Changtian. This matter couldn't be delayed any longer. If it was taken off, who knew how many innocent people would suffer? Alright, first elder, they'll pack up and well set off. Xiao Changtian nodded to the great elder and walked into his courtyard. He had to go back and explain everything properly. After he left, he definitely could not let Pai Xiu come back to the Glorious Star restaurant. Soon, Xiao Changtian returned to his courtyard. Ling I'm leaving this time. You must take good care of this Pai Xiu. Xiao Changtian, who had returned to the courtyard, looked at Feng Ling and said seriously. This Pai Xiu is the most mischievous. He'll have to trouble you to put in more effort. Senior, what do you mean by this? Isn't this what I should do? Feng Ling looked at Xiao Changtian and said with a smile. Woo. At this moment, Pai Xiu suddenly appeared beside Xiao Changtian. Looking at Xiao Changtian, Pai Wu cried out twice. I'm leaving this time. If you dare to steal gold coins again, I'll break your legs. Xiao Changtian looked at Pai Xiu and said fiercely. Woo. After Xiao Changtian finished speaking, Pai Xiu immediately pulled Xiao Changshan's trousers and immediately pulled Xiao Changtian into the house. What is this Pai Xiu doing? I still have things to do. Don't cause trouble for me. Xiao Changtian said as he watched Pai Xiu pull him. However, Xiao Changtian wanted to break free, but Pai Xiu was very strong. Xiao Changtian was afraid that if he used too much strength, it would not be good if he broke Pixia's teeth. Alright, what do you want me to do in the house? Finally, he walked into his room. Pai Xiu finally stopped. Woo. Then, Xiao Changtian saw Pai Xiu crawl under his bed. Let me see what you're hiding under the bed. Looking at Pai Xiu's actions, Xiao Changtian couldn't help but lie down. F***ck. Why are there so many gold coins? Damn Pai Xiu, did you steal my gold coins again? Xiao Changtian said in surprise when he saw so many gold coins under the bed. Woo. Hearing Xiao Changtian say that he stole his gold coins, Pai Xiu immediately whimpered in grievance. However, Xiao Changtian had learned his lesson from the previous incident, so he did not soften his heart when he saw Pai Xiu whimpering in grievance. Instead, he pulled him out from under the bed. Take it with you obediently. I'm going to check my gold coins now. If I lose one gold coin, you'll have to break a leg today. Xiao Changtian looked at Pai Xiu and said fiercely. The system was just so unreliable. This Pai Xiu was even trying to make money for him. It was already good enough that he did not steal his gold coins. Xiao Changtian quickly walked to the other side of the wall. He patted the wall and a huge secret compartment appeared. The hidden compartment was filled with gold coins. *CK, those gold coins under the bed really didn't steal from me. Xiao Changtian said in surprise as he looked at his gold coins in the secret compartment. This was really strange. Where did Pai Xiu find the gold coins under his bed? Senior, isn't the Pai Xiu used to make money? At this moment, Feng Ling'er walked over and said. In order to get along well with Pai Xiu after Senior left, Feng Ling'er tried to put in some good words for Pai Xiu. After Pai Xiu heard Feng Ling'er's words, the way he looked at Feng Ling'er changed. There's actually such a good thing. Hearing Feng Ling'er's words, Xiao Changtian said in surprise. That bed was worth at least 200,000 gold coins. This Pai Xiu actually made up for everything he had eaten before. If that was the case, then this Pai Xiu was not completely useless. That's right, Senior. You have to believe that the legend of the Pai Xiu is not for nothing. Feng Ling'er naturally noticed the change in the way Pai Xiu looked at her, so she followed up. Since that's the case, we have to keep an eye on this Pai Xiu. In case he steals food again. After Xiao Changtian finished speaking to Feng Ling'er, he glared fiercely at Pai Xiu. Senior, don't worry. Hearing Feng Ling'er's words, Xiao Changtian nodded and walked out. After a while, Xiao Changtian returned to the entrance of the Glorious Star restaurant. Senior, let's set off immediately. The pavilion master has already given me instructions. Seeing Xiao Changtian return, the great elder nodded. At first, he wanted the pavilion master to explain to them. However, when he remembered that the pavilion master was just an ordinary businessman in front of Senior, the great elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets gave up and went with Senior. Meanwhile, in the Jade Nether Kingdom. Ruler, I've already sent a request to the people from the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets. A cultivator said to the Jade Nether Kingdom's king who was in the Jade Nether Kingdom's main hall. Even if I have to pay a great price, I will find out who the demon adulterer is. After hearing the cultivator's words, the Jade Nether Kingdom's king looked into the distance and said fiercely. Country ruler, not good, not good. Another sect has come to report that they have been killed. At this moment, a middle-aged man walked out of the hall and said loudly. Prime Minister Liu, which sect is in trouble this time? Looking at the middle-aged man, the Jade Nether King took a deep breath and asked. Ruler, this time, 2 or 3 of the sects in the north of the city were attacked by the demons. Several people in the sect have disappeared. Prime Minister Liu said to the Jade Nether King in front of him. It's useless for us to intervene in this matter. In that case, let's wait for the people from the secret pavilion to come and save us. The Jade Nether Kingdom's king said helplessly. Chapter 879, Someone from the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets has arrived, reporting, Ruler, the Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets has sent news. At this moment, another cultivator came over and said loudly. Speak. The Prophecy Pavilion sent the Prophecy Pavilion's Grand Elder and an unknown person. However, the people from the secret pavilion seem to have said that that person was their senior. The cultivator quickly replied. Just 2 people. Prime Minister Liu said with a frown. Prime Minister Liu, don't tell me you don't know the strength of the great elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets. The Jade Nether Kingdom's king looked at Prime Minister Liu and said. Ruler, but there are quite a number of demons who have come for this disaster. Even if the great elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets was powerful, how could he deal with so many demons? Prime Minister Liu said worriedly. The devil race's infiltration into their Jade Nether Kingdom was already very serious. If they did not stop it quickly, the Jade Nether Kingdom would probably change hands. Prime Minister Liu, as long as we capture the person who colluded with the demons in the imperial family, this situation should be resolved very quickly. Therefore, I feel that even if he sends 2 people, it shouldn't be a problem. The Jade Nether Kingdom's king looked at Prime Minister Lu and said slowly. It was not that the Jade Nether Kingdom's king was not worried about the situation in the Jade Nether Kingdom, but he trusted the Prophecy Pavilion. With the Prophecy Pavilion's help, they should be able to successfully overcome this crisis. Ruler, since you have put it this way, then I have no other choice. Prime Minister Lu sighed as he looked at the Jade Underworld King. In Prime Minister Liu's eyes, the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets had to send an army to resolve this problem. Oh right, Ruler, I want to know what the strength of the senior who came with the Great Elder of the Prophecy Pavilion is like. Prime Minister Lu then asked the Jade Nether King. I don't know about this either. You heard it too. The Pavilion Master of the Secret Pavilion didn't give me an accurate answer. However, even the Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets said that he was his senior. His strength must be extraordinary. I don't think you need to worry about that. The Jade Nether Kingdom's king looked at Prime Minister Lu and consoled him. This Prime Minister Lu was his right-hand man, and he was very concerned about the Jade Nether Kingdom's matters. Ever since the demon invasion, it had been Prime Minister Lu who had helped him run around. Therefore, the Jade Nether Kingdom's king was extremely grateful to Prime Minister Lu. If that's the case, I'll wait here for the people from the secret pavilion. At this moment, the people in the city were in a panic and did not dare to go out. There were very few people outside. Prime Minister Lu nodded. Meanwhile, on the other side of the Jade Nether Kingdom. Prime Minister Sun, you can't do it now. The current country ruler would go to Prime Minister Lu if he had any problems. You only have your position but no power. A skinny man who was standing in front of a middle-aged man said. Ha ha ha, skinny monkey, what's the hurry? This is only the first step of my plan. The middle-aged man called Prime Minister Sun said with a smile. But Prime Minister Sun, I heard that the ruler has asked the people of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets to help. You have to be careful. Shou Ho looked at Premier Sun and said with a smile. Someone from the Heaven Secrets Pavilion? Ha ha ha, that person is nothing. It's not like you don't know that there are so many demon race people behind me. Even if the entire Heaven Secret Pavilion came, they wouldn't be a match for them. After hearing this news, Prime Minister Sun waved his hand indifferently. In his heart, the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets was no match for the demons at all. How many people did the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets send this time? But then, Premier Sun looked at Skinny Monkey and asked. Prime Minister Sun, how much do you think? Skinny Monkey smiled at Premier Sun after hearing his words. Don't try to sell a lawsuit in front of me. Tell me quickly. Did they really send someone from the pavilion? Prime Minister Sun glared at Skinny Monkey and said. Ha ha, Prime Minister Sun, you guessed wrong. This time, the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets only sent 2 people. Shou Ho looked at Premier Sun with a smile. Ha ha, what a joke. The secret pavilion is so big, but they actually sent 2 people this time. The 2 of them had even helped the Jade Nether Kingdom through the crisis. After they came, it was hard to say whether they could protect the Jade Nether Kingdom. Premier Sun laughed out loud after hearing Shou Ho's words. The reason why Prime Minister Sun had allied with the demon race was because the demon race wanted to find the Jade Nether Kingdom's treasure. If Prime Minister Sun could help the demon race find the treasure, the demon race would agree to help Prime Minister Sun sit on the throne of the Jade Nether Kingdom. Prime Minister Sun was immediately moved by the proposal of the demons. Thus, he chose to cooperate with the demons without hesitation. But Prime Minister Sun did not know where the Jade Nether Kingdom's treasure was. However, Prime Minister Sun had heard that some sect in the Jade Nether Kingdom knew where the treasure was hidden. However, he did not know which sect it was. Therefore, Prime Minister Sun cooperated with the demons to capture some people from various sects to threaten them to tell them the location of the treasure. However, even though they had captured many people, they had not been able to ask about the whereabouts of the Jade Nether Kingdom's treasure. However, Prime Minister Sun was not in a hurry because the demons had given him a long time and a lot of manpower. Therefore, Prime Minister Sun was not afraid that the people from the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets would come. Reporting, an invitation from the country ruler. At this moment, a servant from Prime Minister Sun's residence rushed in. Invitation letter. Prime Minister Sun said in surprise. The people from the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets have come to help. Tonight, a welcoming ceremony will be held in the Imperial Palace. I hope Prime Minister Sun can arrive. Looking at the invitation letter, Premier Sun muttered. Ha ha ha, speak of the devil. The people from the Heaven Secrets Pavilion actually arrived so quickly. However, he did not know what the country ruler was thinking. Was it worth it to prepare for just those two? It was simply a waste of time. Premier Sun looked at Skinny Monkey and laughed. However, this is also a good time for us to see just how strong the two people sent by the secret pavilion are. Skinny Monkey, tonight, you will come with me. We will go together. After hearing Premier Sun's words, Skinny Monkey immediately nodded. After all, they were going to laugh at the Heaven's Secret Pavilion and the Jade Nether Kingdom's king. At this moment, in the main hall of the Jade Nether Kingdom. Great Elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets, you're finally here. Seeing the Grand Elder of the Prophecy Pavilion walking over, the Jade Nether Kingdom's king immediately went forward to welcome him. Country ruler, you're too polite. The Pavilion Master sent us here this time because you must have encountered some difficult problem that you can't solve. The Grand Elder of the Prophecy Pavilion asked the Jade Nether Kingdom's king politely. It's a long story. The Jade Nether Kingdom's king sighed at the Great Elder of the Prophecy Pavilion. Chapter 880, The Servant of the Elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets, 1. However, just as the Jade Nether Kingdom's king was conversing with the Great Elder of the Prophecy Pavilion, Prime Minister Lu was staring at Xiao Changtian with a mocking look in his eyes. Ruler, I have something to tell you. Before the king of the Jade Nether Kingdom could finish speaking with the Grand Elder of the Prophecy Pavilion, Prime Minister Lu shouted at the king. In that case, you two go first. The Great Elder of the Prophecy Pavilion tactfully shut his mouth. Then, Prime Minister Lu pulled the Jade Nether Kingdom's king far away without a word. Ruler, are you sure that the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets sent these two people? Prime Minister Lu, who was standing in the corner, asked the Jade Underworld King with a serious expression. Indeed. Others don't know, but don't you know? That was the Great Elder of the Prophecy Pavilion. The Jade Nether Kingdom's king looked at Prime Minister Lu curiously. What was this Prime Minister Lu thinking? But ruler, didn't you say that the Prophecy Pavilion sent a Great Elder and a Senior? However, the person who followed the first Elder was clearly a mortal. Looking at the Jade Nether Kingdom's Lord, Prime Minister Liu's expression turned ugly. Because he felt that their country's ruler seemed to have been played by the people of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets. Although the Elder's strength seemed very powerful, the person beside him could not feel a trace of spiritual power from him no matter how Prime Minister Lu tried. How could this be? When the Jade Nether Kingdom's king heard Prime Minister Liu's words, he frowned. At first, he had been focused on the Great Elder of the Prophecy Pavilion and had not paid much attention to the senior beside him. He thought that since he was a senior, he must be an expert. But what was Prime Minister Lu talking about? Ruler, if you don't believe me, you can take a look for yourself. That person is just a mortal. He doesn't have any spiritual power at all. Prime Minister Lu looked at Xiao Changtian in the distance and said seriously. Xiao Changtian, who was standing in his original spot, saw Prime Minister Lu and the Jade Nether Kingdom's king turning around to look at him from afar. Xiao Changtian even smiled at the two of them. It's true. That person is really just a mortal. After hearing Prime Minister Liu's words, although the Jade Nether Kingdom's king did not believe it, he still released his spiritual power to check. One wouldn't know if they didn't look, but when they saw it, they were shocked. The person beside the great elder of the prophecy pavilion was clearly a mortal. How could this be? That was impossible. The pavilion master of the secret pavilion had personally said that that person was their senior. How could their senior be a mortal? At this moment, the Jade Nether Kingdom's king muttered in confusion. This was completely different from what he had imagined. What was the use of sending such a mortal? Ruler, could it be that the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets is trying to trick us? I've already sent out the invitations you wanted to send. If the other officials saw that there was only such a powerful expert at night. I'm afraid the situation is not easy to control. Prime Minister Liu was doing this for the greater good of the Jade Nether Kingdom. The Jade Nether Kingdom was already in a state of panic because of the demon race, and now, the Prophecy Pavilion had actually used such a move on them. Was the heavens trying to destroy their Jade Nether Kingdom? Prime Minister Liu, do you think it's possible that the senior from the Heaven Secrets Pavilion didn't come with the great elder of the Heaven Secrets Pavilion? The person behind Elder Tiange might be his servant. Right at this moment, the Jade Nether Kingdom's king thought of a reasonable explanation. After all, how could a place as big as the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets do such a thing? One had to know that it was better to trust the secret pavilion than anyone else. After all, the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets was the most trustworthy organization in the entire Jade Lake sacred world. The Jade Nether Kingdom's king looked at Prime Minister Liu and said, "Ruler, there's only one possibility now. That person is the servant of the great elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets. He didn't know when that senior would come." After getting a reasonable explanation, Prime Minister Liu was relieved. That's right, he must have been thinking too much. Why would the secret pavilion send such a person? The Jade Nether Kingdom did not say anything else and stepped forward. "Great Elder, sorry to keep you waiting. We had a small situation just now. I hope you don't mind." The Jade Nether Kingdom's king said apologetically as he walked up to the Grand Elder of the Heavenly Pavilion. "It's fine. After all, our purpose for coming here this time is to help your Jade Nether Kingdom." The Great Elder of the Secret Pavilion smiled and said, "Great Elder, this is a long story. Moreover, the journey from Stellar Town to our Jade Underworld Kingdom is very long. You must be very tired after such a long journey. Why don't I tell you about it at the reception tonight?" The Jade Nether Kingdom's king asked the Prophecy Pavilion's Grand Elder. "We can do whatever we want. Well, listen to your arrangements." The Grand Elder of the Prophecy Pavilion did not care about this. In any case, they would not leave so easily unless they helped the Jade Nether Kingdom find the devil race. Following that, the Grand Elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets and Xiao Changtian followed the servants into the room that the Jade Nether Kingdom's king had prepared beforehand. "Senior, they'll have to trouble you with this matter," the Great Elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets said to Xiao Changtian after they entered the room. "No trouble, no trouble. After all, I promised you." Xiao Changtian didn't find this matter troublesome. After all, as long as he helped the secret pavilion deal with the demons, the secret pavilion would give him the information of the spirit tree seed for free. In the end, this could be considered an equivalent exchange. However, when I came here, I could feel that the Jade Nether Kingdom was indeed being persecuted by the demons. There were not many people on the streets. Xiao Changtian knew that the devil race was not simple. Therefore, it would take him a lot of effort to deal with them. Moreover, his cultivation base was considered trash in the Jade Lake sacred world. At this moment, Xiao Changtian suddenly remembered that he could use the spiritual crystal points to upgrade his cultivation in the system. He could take advantage of this period of time to improve his cultivation a little. Then, he wouldn't lose so badly. After he finished talking to the Great Elder, Xiao Changtian went into the room and locked the door. "System, didn't you say that you could exchange 10 crystals for 1 cultivation point?" Xiao Changtian closed the door and asked the system. "Yes, host. As long as you want to increase your cultivation, you can exchange for spiritual crystal points. However, the system warmly reminds you that a little cultivation is not very useful. The system seemed to be smiling at Xiao Changtian. In that case, I have 32,600 crystals left. If 1 point of cultivation was not enough, he could exchange the remaining 600 crystals for cultivation. Xiao Changtian gritted his teeth and said. Chapter 881, Is that senior here? 1. Are you sure you want to exchange 600 crystals for cultivation? After hearing little Changshan's words, the system seemed to be uncertain. Of course I'm sure. Xiao Changtian said to the system. Ding! The host has completed the exchange of 600 crystals for 60 cultivation points. The system's voice sounded again very quickly. With this 60 points of cultivation, although it's still very weak. But it's much stronger than before. Xiao Changtian could also feel the changes in his body after obtaining the 60 points of cultivation. But he couldn't tell exactly where it was. However, he knew that becoming stronger was the right thing to do. Not long after, the sky gradually darkened. Senior, the people from the Jade Nether Kingdom said that we should attend the welcoming banquet. At this moment, the great elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets knocked on Xiao Changshan's door. Not long after, the great elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets and Xiao Changtian arrived at the welcoming banquet. Great elder, you're here. We've been waiting here for a long time. The Jade Nether Kingdom's king smiled as he led the Prophecy Pavilion's great elder to the seat beside him. Ruler, if I sit here, then he, the great elder of the Prophecy Pavilion, looked at the Jade Nether Kingdom's king and then at Xiao Changtian. Oh, please sit beside me. The Jade Nether Kingdom's king had not expected the great elder to be so friendly to others. Even his own servant had to find a seat for him. Xiao Changtian did not have any objections to the arrangements made by the Jade Nether Kingdom's king. After all, he could sit anywhere he wanted. Ruler, I heard that our Jade Nether Kingdom has an expert from the Heaven's Secret Pavilion. Quickly let me see where the hero is. At this moment, Premier's son walked straight towards the Jade Nether Kingdom's king from the entrance of the banquet and asked. Ha, Prime Minister's son, you look much better these days. The person beside me is the great elder of the Heaven's Secret Pavilion. The Jade Nether Kingdom's king smiled as he looked at Prime Minister Sunday. Even until today, the Jade Nether Kingdom's king did not know that Prime Minister Sun had actually colluded with the demon race. They were harming the people of the Jade Nether Kingdom. Yo! Great Elder of the Prophecy Pavilion, it's an honor to meet you. I didn't expect you to really come. Looks like you'll have to bear with our Jade Nether Kingdom this time. The reason why Prime Minister Sun had not been discovered by the Jade Nether Kingdom's king to be colluding with the demons was because Prime Minister Sun usually disguised himself very well, making it impossible for others to detect him. Prime Minister, you're too polite. Since it's the ruler who invited us, we will definitely do our best. The great elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets also said politely to Premier Sunday, oh right, didn't you say that you came with the great elder and a senior? Why don't I see that senior? After Prime Minister Sun finished speaking, he looked around, but he didn't see the senior that the ruler was talking about. The reason why Prime Minister Sun wanted to know where that senior was because he wanted to quickly determine the strength of the expert they were talking about so that he could find a countermeasure. That's right, First Elder, didn't you come with a senior? Where is that senior? At this moment, the Jade Nether Kingdom's king was also a little puzzled. How did that senior arrive? Chapter 882, Stabilize the situation first. 1. One had to know that the Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets was already a Saint King. If it was that senior, he would probably already be a Sage Sect. With the strength of the Sage Sect, they should be able to find the spy of the demon race no matter what. Prime Minister Liu, if that person isn't the Great Elder's servant, then he must be their senior. The Jade Nether King said helplessly to Prime Minister Lu. What is it? How could this be? That person was really their senior. Prime Minister Lu felt that he had been greatly deceived at this moment. He looked at the great elder of the prophecy pavilion with anger. These people actually dared to play with them like this. It was simply extremely shameful. Prime Minister Lu, there's nothing we can do now. All the officials are here, so it doesn't mean that any of them is a spy. If the spy finds out that the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets has sent a saint ruler and immortal, the situation will become even more difficult to deal with. Although the Jade Nether Kingdom's king was extremely angry, he looked at Prime Minister Lu and said helplessly. As they still did not know who the spy was, they could not blindly cause a conflict with the secret pavilion. In that case, let's wait until the banquet is over. Prime Minister Lu also knew that if the civil and military officials knew about this, it would probably cause panic again. It was better not to say anything about the matter for the time being. Everyone, this time, our Jade Nether Kingdom has invited people from the Prophecy Pavilion. With their help, our Jade Nether Kingdom will definitely change. In order to stabilize the overall situation, the Jade Nether Kingdom's king spoke to everyone present at the banquet. That's great. I have the help of the secret pavilion. That's right, that's right. With the help of the prophecy pavilion, our Jade Nether Kingdom will definitely be able to overcome this crisis. The spy who colluded with the demon race will be found by the people of Tianji Pavilion. After hearing the Jade Nether King's words, everyone below discussed excitedly. The secret pavilion had always been synonymous with eradicating the demon race. This was because the secret pavilion had defeated the demon race once 100 years ago. Since then, whenever the demon race was mentioned, people would immediately think of asking the secret pavilion for help. These people still don't know that they're being kept in the dark even when they're about to die. Premier's son stood in the distance and shook his head with a smile when he saw how excited these people were. Prime Minister, your move is still the best. If you become the ruler, don't forget me, Skinny Monkey. Skinny Monkey looked at the scene and complimented. He did not expect that after so many years, Skinny Monkey would finally be able to make a name for himself. As long as Prime Minister's son became the ruler of the country, he would definitely be glorious. Great Elder, I've made you wait. After the Jade Nether Kingdom's king finished speaking, he walked to the side of the Prophecy Pavilion's first elder and said with a smile. The current situation in our Jade Nether Kingdom is that many people from the sects have gone missing. In the places where they went missing, many traces of the demon race have been found. It wasn't very serious a few days ago, but it has become more and more rampant in the past few days. That was why he came to the Prophecy Pavilion. Although the Jade Nether Kingdom's king was extremely dissatisfied with the Prophecy Pavilion's actions this time, the Prophecy Pavilion's Grand Elder was a saint ruler after all. There was only one saint ruler in the entire Jade Nether Kingdom. However, that expert from the Yaoming Kingdom's Saint King did not care about this matter. Even if the Yaoming Kingdom's king paid a high price to invite him, that expert would not care. If that's the case, Jade Nether King, how do you know that the demon race is colluding with your imperial family? After hearing about the situation in the Jade Nether Kingdom, the Prophecy Pavilion's Grand Elder's expression turned solemn. We didn't know at first, but a sect member escaped from the hands of the demons. He said that the demons were colluding with the royal family, but before we could ask about the exact situation, he lost his life. The Jade Nether Kingdom's king sighed. He had wanted to find the spy in this matter, but that person had disguised himself too well. The Jade Nether Kingdom's king had not been able to find him even now. Also, it's not just the people of the various sections. Even Prime Minister Lu and Prime Minister Sun's families are threatened by the demons. Prime Minister Liu's daughter was only 19 years old, but she was captured by the demons. This was the reason why Prime Minister Lu paid so much attention to the demon race. That demon is simply too detestable. He can actually do such a thing. And that spy. If we catch him, it wouldn't be too much for him to whip his corpse 100 times. Xiao Changtian, who was at the side, naturally heard the Jade Nether King's words. He looked at the Jade Nether King and said angrily. After hearing Xiao Changshan's words, Prime Minister Lu rolled his eyes impatiently. This mortal was really annoying. Not only did he not have any strength, but he also had to stand out like this. However, Prime Minister Lu didn't show it out of respect for the great elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets. Don't worry about this matter, country ruler. We will definitely help you resolve it. Although the great elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets did not know if he could find the spy of the demon race, he believed that with Senior around, this would definitely not be a problem. With your words, I can rest assured. The king of the Jade Nether Kingdom nodded. Even a saint king should be able to make the demons fear him. At this moment, the king of the Jade Nether Kingdom was comforting himself in his heart. The next day, Xiao Changtian was woken up by a knock on the door. Senior, this time an official's family was captured by the demons. The voice of the great elder of the prophecy pavilion sounded outside the door. There's no time to lose. Let's go to the scene now to see what's going on. Xiao Changtian didn't hesitate. He quickly tidied up and followed the great elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets to the official's house. Not long after, the great elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets and Xiao Changtian arrived at the official's house. Prime Minister Lu, you came so early. Standing at the door of the official was Prime Minister Lu and the official. Elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets, please help me take a look. Although the people who were captured this time were not our family members, they were still servants who had been with me for so many years. When the official saw the great elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets, he immediately walked up and said, "Let's go take a look." Then, under the lead of the official, Xiao Changtian and the others came to the place where the servant was taken away. It looks like she was taken away by the Asides at night. Xiao Changtian muttered to himself as he looked into the room. D*mn, why did your pet die too? Just as Xiao Changtian walked to the bed, he suddenly felt the tip of his foot kick something. He bent down and saw the corpse of the demon beast under the bed. Chapter 883, The Demon Race is Too Much, 1, This was our gatekeeper, the howling firmament beast, but it was actually killed by that detestable demon. Looking at the howling firmament beast on the ground, which still had traces of demonic chi, the official's face was filled with anger. One had to know that the howling firmament beast's strength had already reached the Saint Venerable realm. No one had ever dared to touch it when it was guarding their residence. But now, he was actually killed by the demon race without even being discovered. From this, one could see how terrifying that demon race person was. Looks like that demon is indeed not simple. The great elder of the prophecy pavilion nodded and said, "Senior, what do you think of this matter? If we can figure out why these demons captured these people, then we can make a good judgment." Xiao Changtian looked at everyone and said in a deep voice. Because according to the current situation, Xiao Changtian could feel that the demon must have some purpose. However, Xiao Changtian didn't know the exact purpose. Also, did the demons capture these people at night? Xiao Changtian looked at Prime Minister Lu and asked. Yes, those demons only move out at night. However, we sent people to patrol the city day and night, but we didn't find any traces of the demons. Prime Minister Lu nodded to Xiao Changtian. Although Xiao Changtian didn't have much strength, he looked like he had a clear mind. He wasn't useless. We really want to capture those demons, but even if we patrol day and night, that demon might not appear in any sect or official's house next time. After Prime Minister Lu finished speaking, he sighed heavily. At this moment, in Prime Minister Sun's house. "Milord, don't worry. During this period of time, in order to find that treasure, I have not stopped." Prime Minister Sun looked at Holy Master 6 and said. Holy Master 6 had just been sent over to take over the Jade Nether Kingdom's matters. Sacred Lord Demonic Flame felt that the progress here was too slow. It had already been a month, but there was still no news about that thing in the Jade Nether Kingdom. Therefore, Holy Lord Mo Yen sent Holy Lord 6 to help Prime Minister Sun complete this matter. You didn't stop, but you didn't find anything about that thing. Holy Master 6 said disdainfully as he looked at Prime Minister Sunday. Sacred Lord Demonic Flame has said that if we can't find the treasure in half a month, we'll be able to find it. Then, the Holy Master could consider replacing him. Ever since Saint Master 6 escaped from Star Town, he had been staying in the demon race, thinking about how to deal with Xiao Changtian. However, before he could come up with a solution, he was sent by Sacred Lord Demonic Flame to complete this mission. However, Saint Lord 6 had heard that the Great Elder of the Prophecy Pavilion and Xiao Changtian were also here. Thus, he accepted the mission without hesitation and came to the Jade Nether Kingdom. Sir, please don't. I have been doing my best to complete this matter. Although there has been no progress for the time being, I believe that as long as I capture enough people, someone will know the whereabouts of the treasure. Prime Minister Sun said anxiously after hearing Holy Master SX's words. Then whether this matter can be accomplished will depend on your performance in the next half a month. Holy Master 6 glanced at Prime Minister Sun and said slowly. Not only was he going to help Sacred Lord Demonic Flame find the treasure in the Jade Nether Kingdom, but he was also going to teach Xiao Changtian a lesson. I heard that the people from the Heaven Secrets Pavilion are here as well. Where are they now? Then, Holy Master 6 asked Prime Minister Sun about Xiao Changshan's whereabouts. They're probably at the official's house of the person they captured. However, my lord, please don't worry. I've probed yesterday. Other than the Great Elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets who has the strength of a saint ruler, the other person is only a mortal. And it was just a saint king. He believed that so many demons would definitely be able to defeat him. Prime Minister Sun immediately said excitedly when he heard Holy Master SX's words. Alright, I didn't ask you that much. I just asked where they are now. Saint Master 6 waved his hand indifferently. Other than finding what the demon flame Saint Lord wanted, his other goal was to make Xiao Changtian suffer a beating. After all, Saint Lord 6 had never been so humiliated before. He had been humiliated twice in Xiao Changshan's glorious star restaurant. No matter what, he had to make Xiao Changtian pay a price. Your Excellency, you can rest assured. That Great Elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets and that mortal are staying in the palace arranged by the king at night. They are probably investigating this matter during the day. The two of them can't run anywhere. Prime Minister Sun looked at the lackey of the Holy Lord and said. After all, it was said that the demon race person sent here had a high status in the demon race. If she could build a good relationship with him, she would not have to worry about anything in the future. However, after hearing Holy Master SX's question, Prime Minister Sun had some confidence in his heart. It seemed that this lord in front of him was going to deal with the people of the Heaven Secrets Pavilion as soon as he arrived. As long as this lord dealt with the people from the Secret Pavilion, their future progress would be even smoother. Alright, I know what to do about this. At the same time, you have to speed up the progress on your hands. Remember, you only have half a month left. Holy Master 6 said to Prime Minister Sun and disappeared. On the other side, Xiao Changtian did not find any valuable clues after the official's inspection. Thus, the group of them left the official's house. I reckon that this demon race person is going to take action tonight. However, I don't know where we'll go next. Prime Minister Liu said to the Great Elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets after leaving the official's house. But in my opinion, the demons are looking for something, right? Why don't we beat him at his own game? At this moment, Xiao Changtian suddenly said in a deep voice. Senior, I don't know what plan you have, but why don't you tell me? Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, the Great Elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets quickly asked. Since there are officials colluding with the demon race, then let the ruler spread the word that he has already handed that thing over to us. When the official heard the news, he would definitely not be able to sit still. At that time, he would definitely send people from the demon race to look for him. As long as we set up an inescapable net in the room, that demon race person will definitely not be able to escape. Xiao Changtian slowly explained his plan. Perhaps this was the only way to resolve this matter. Moreover, the Grand Elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets was a saint ruler. He would ask the Grand Elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets to capture the demon and interrogate him. Senior, I think this method will work. After hearing Senior's words, the Great Elder of the Prophecy Pavilion nodded in agreement. Because of Xiao Changshan's idea, Prime Minister Liu's impression of him changed slightly. It turned out that this guy's brain was so good. No wonder he was called Senior. Chapter 884, Jade Green Saint Stone, 1. Although Prime Minister Liu's impression of Xiao Changtian had changed a little, he still looked down on him. It was because it was useless for a mortal without any strength to have a smart brain. Let's discuss this matter with the country ruler and listen to his opinion. Prime Minister Liu said slowly after the two of them had finished speaking. Following that, the few of them set off to look for the Jade Nether Kingdom's king. This method is really good. In that case, well, do as you say. After hearing Xiao Changshan's suggestion, the king of the Jade Nether Kingdom nodded in agreement. However, Jade Nether King, I would like to ask, what kind of treasure does the Jade Nether Kingdom have that is worthy of the demons making such a big fuss? Xiao Changtian looked at the king of the Jade Nether Kingdom and asked in confusion. This, Prime Minister Liu didn't expect Xiao Changtian to ask such a question. He actually casually inquired about the treasures of other countries. His opinion of Xiao Changtian changed again. Since things have come to this, I won't hide it anymore. I can actually sense that the demon is looking for the Jade Azure Saint Rock. The Jade Nether Kingdom's king looked at the few people present and paused for a moment before saying. This Jade Green Saint Rock is nothing else but a treasure left behind by old ancestor Yao Ming. It was said that as long as one absorbed this Jade Green Saint Rock, one's cultivation would at least jump 3 levels. The Jade Nether Kingdom's king looked at the few of them and said slowly. Other than this, the Jade Green Saint Rock has another important function. It is to protect the Jade Nether Kingdom and bring good fortune to the entire Jade Nether Kingdom. Also, it was something left behind by the ancestor, so it had been preserved by the Jade Nether Kingdom's ruler for generations. The Jade Nether Kingdom's king had already known about it a long time ago. If this Jade Green Saint Stone was known by anyone other than the Jade Nether Kingdom, it would definitely attract countless disasters. Therefore, the Jade Nether Kingdom had never made this treasure public. He did not expect that the demons would actually know about it. This indeed put the Jade Nether Kingdom's king in a dilemma. After all, the Jade Azure Saint Rock had protected the Jade Nether Kingdom for so many years. No matter what, the Jade Nether Kingdom's king did not wish for it to be stolen by the demons. I see. The demons seemed to be trying to revive their demon lord, so they were plundering things that were beneficial to their lord's recovery. It seemed like the demon race was looking for the Jade Green Saint Rock. The Great Elder of the Prophecy Pavilion nodded after hearing this. It was not strange that the demons would make such a big fuss for this thing. In that case, he'll call a meeting today and tell those officials. I've handed the item over to you. At that time, he'll have to trouble you, Great Elder of the Secret Pavilion. The Jade Nether Kingdom's king thanked the Great Elder of the Prophecy Pavilion. No, these are all Senior's ideas. If you want to thank me, thank Senior. The Grand Elder of the Prophecy Pavilion said with a smile. If it wasn't for Senior's idea, he probably wouldn't know where to start. After this matter was settled, the Great Elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets and Xiao Changtian went to the room together. As long as the official was anxious. He was afraid that the demons would take action tonight. The Jade Nether Kingdom's king did not hesitate either. After the great elder of the prophecy pavilion left, he quickly gathered the officials. "Ruler, why are you so flustered? What is it? Could it be that they had already captured the demons?" Premier's son, who had been summoned, asked the Jade Nether Kingdom's king. He wanted to see what other abilities this country ruler had. "Although there hasn't been any progress with the demon race, I have an important announcement to make." The Jade Nether Kingdom's king smiled at Prime Minister Sunday. "I'm sure everyone doesn't know that our Jade Nether Kingdom actually has a huge treasure that protects our Jade Nether Kingdom. In order to protect that thing, I've never told anyone about it. But now that the demons are becoming increasingly rampant, I've decided to hand that treasure over to the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets for safekeeping." The Jade Nether Kingdom's king looked at everyone present and said. After hearing this, Prime Minister Sun's face lit up. He didn't expect that he would get it so easily. It just so happened that that lord wanted to urge him to find information about that treasure within half a month, and now this country ruler actually said it himself. However, it was best for him to first ask if that treasure was what the demons were looking for. "Ruler, there is actually such a thing. I wonder what our treasure is." Premier's son pretended to be surprised as he looked at the Jade Nether King and asked. "That thing is called the Jade Green Saint Stone." The Jade Nether Kingdom's king did not hide this matter. He had followed the instructions of the great elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets and lured the spy out of his hole. "Jade Green Saint Rock. Heavens, it's actually that thing. I didn't expect that thing to actually belong to our Jade Nether Kingdom." When the officials present heard about the Jade Green Saint Rock, they all whispered in surprise. When he heard this name, the smile on Prime Minister Sun's face widened. He didn't expect that this thing was what the demons wanted him to find. Since he already knew the whereabouts of that thing, then don't blame me for being impolite. After returning home, Prime Minister Sun quickly gathered his men. "Yo, there's a situation." At this moment, Sacred Master 6 suddenly appeared. "Milord, I have good news for you. The thing you're looking for is on the Great Elder of the Prophecy Pavilion. So I'm going to make my move tonight." Prime Minister Sun looked at Holy Master 6 excitedly. "It's with the Grand Elder of the Prophecy Pavilion?" When Sacred Master 6 heard this, he frowned and then smiled. "If that's the case, then tonight, you can go find the Great Elder of the Heaven's Secret Pavilion and get that treasure. I'll go meet that Xiao Changtian." Although Saint Lord 6 didn't know Xiao Changshan's strength, he was sure that Xiao Changtian wasn't that strong. As long as Prime Minister Sun could help him stall the Great Elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets, he would be able to deal with Xiao Changtian. At night, Xiao Changtian and Prime Minister Lu were squatting in the courtyard outside the room. The two of them wanted to wait here and see if that demon would appear. "It's already so late, why isn't that demon here yet?" After squatting for a while, Prime Minister Lu said impatiently. "Is this method that you guys are talking about going to work?" After Prime Minister Lu went back and thought about it, he felt more and more uneasy. Would Xiao Changshan's idea work? As long as they can't wait, they will definitely come. Xiao Changtian didn't care whether Prime Minister Lu doubted him or not. He only explained. Chapter 885, Holy Lord, 6. At this moment, a figure suddenly appeared on top of the wall. "Ha ha ha, Xiao Changtian, it's time for you to die." The figure standing on the wall suddenly laughed out loud. D*MN, demon race people. However, I have no enmity with him. Xiao Changtian was stunned when he heard the voice. He did not know any demon race people at all, nor did he offend any demon race people. Why did it sound like the person on the wall had a blood feud with him? Looking at the person on the wall, Xiao Changtian was ready to go out and investigate. "What are you doing? That person is a member of the demon race. Are you going to die?" Seeing that Xiao Changtian wanted to leave the corner, Chancellor Lu immediately stopped him and scolded him in a low voice. This mortal really overestimated himself. That demon race person was obviously a powerful expert, but this person in front of him actually went out to court death. No, I'm just going out to teach him a lesson. There shouldn't be any problems, right? Xiao Changtian looked at Prime Minister Liu and asked. After all, with his current strength, it was not quite possible to kill a demon. You're looking for trouble. If you wanted to teach a demon a lesson, you would be lucky if the demon didn't kill you after seeing you go out. Prime Minister Liu looked at Xiao Changtian and was a bit angry. How could this person be so annoying? It was fine if he didn't have the strength, but he actually caused trouble for him. Prime Minister, you're thinking too much. I'm just going to teach him a lesson. Don't worry, nothing will happen. Xiao Changtian couldn't bear to see someone treat him like this. He actually said that his death had arrived. How could Xiao Changtian tolerate this? Xiao Changtian quietly stood up after speaking to Prime Minister Liu. This damned person. When he died later, he would not help him collect his corpse. If he was not with the great elder of the prophecy pavilion, he would not have stopped him at all. Looking at Xiao Changshan's actions, Prime Minister Liu cursed in his heart. However, Xiao Changtian didn't know that after he left, Prime Minister Liu was cursing him in his heart. He quietly walked to the bottom of the wall. Hey, you demon, I heard you wanted to kill me. Xiao Changtian walked to the wall and said loudly to the demons on the wall. F***ck. Xiao Changshan's words made Saint Lord 6 jump. He didn't expect Xiao Changtian to appear in front of him before he could make a move. Good, Xiao Changtian, I haven't even looked for you and you came to me first. However, Saint Master 6 immediately reacted and looked at Xiao Changtian. Today was the best time to deal with Xiao Changtian. System, quickly help me check the cultivation of this person in front of me. Xiao Changtian said to the system in his mind as he looked at Saint Lord 6. Cultivation, 6 points. After Xiao Changtian finished speaking, the system immediately replied. What a joke. This person only has 6 points of cultivation. Just the cultivation that I exchanged for can't compare to him. I already have so much cultivation, and now I have to add on the cultivation that I exchanged with the system. Such a cultivation could already throw this demon in front of him by several streets. He did not know where this demon in front of him got the confidence to actually dare to deal with him. Since you said you were going to deal with me, then come at me. I want to see what tricks you can play. Xiao Changtian said disdainfully to Saint Sovereign 6. This damned mortal, what is he doing? Did he really want to die? He actually dared to say such words. That demon would definitely not let him off easily. Prime Minister Liu naturally heard what Xiao Changtian said. So, he hid in the dark and looked at Xiao Changtian with pity. At this moment, Xiao Changtian was already a corpse in Prime Minister Liu's heart. After all, the demons were so difficult to deal with. This Xiao Changtian was so weak. They would definitely be killed by the demons. In front of Prime Minister Liu, Holy Master 6 quickly threw out an iron chain. The iron chain was as thick as a wrist and very long. Not only that, but it also contained extremely powerful demonic power. The moment Sacred Master 6 used this huge chain, the surrounding air instantly became extremely cold, as if they were in an extremely cold place. The moon in the sky was completely covered at this moment, leaving only their dim shadows on the ground. Prime Minister Liu was terrified just by looking at him. We're finished. If he couldn't make it in time later, he would run away quickly. Prime Minister Liu was already scared silly by the scene in front of him. With such a terrifying thing in hand, even if the Jade Nether Kingdom's army was sent over, they wouldn't be able to do anything about it. Do you really think you're so great just because you have an iron chain? You're just a puny little devil. Watch how I deal with you. Xiao Changtian looked at Saint Lord 6 with a mocking smile. Then, under the gaze of Saint Master 6, Xiao Changtian moved. Who told you to act tough? I'll show you the power of my fist today. Xiao Changtian dashed to the wall where Saint Master 6 was standing and pulled him down. Holy Master 6 didn't expect this to happen either. He looked at his pants and was stunned. However, when he reacted, he felt that something was wrong. What's going on? What's going on? Saint Master 6 tried to break free from Xiao Changshan's hand, but he felt as if all the spiritual power in his body had been sucked dry. Even Saint Master 6 found it extremely difficult to move. Bang! However, Xiao Changtian didn't give this devil a chance to hesitate. When he pulled Saint Lord down, he started to beat Saint Lord 6 up. Even if Sacred Master 6 was holding onto the devil race's devil god chains, the iron chain was like a pile of scrap metal at the moment, unable to unleash any spiritual power. Ah! Ah! Under Xiao Changshan's fist, the 6 saint sovereigns felt as if their ribs were smashed by Xiao Changshan's fist. They could only scream helplessly. How is this possible? However, this scene fell into the eyes of Prime Minister Lu, who was preparing to escape in the distance. Looking at this scene, Prime Minister Lu was so surprised that his mouth was so wide that it could fit a steamed bun. That's impossible. I must be too nervous. Prime Minister Lu rubbed his eyes in disbelief and looked at the scene in the distance again. Ah! Ah! The result was exactly the same as before. It was that demon who was screaming under Xiao Changshan's hands. Chapter 886, Retreat Quickly, 1, No, what's going on? Saint Lord 6 was not the only one who was screaming in pain. Prime Minister Lu asked in confusion. At this moment, everything in front of him seemed to be a dream. Prime Minister, come in quickly. Don't disturb Senior. Just as Prime Minister Lu was in a daze, the great elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets walked out and pulled Prime Minister Lu in. If it's not the great elder, what's the situation outside? After being pulled into the room, Prime Minister Lu asked the great elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets in disbelief. What's going on? Weren't you watching with your own eyes? Senior is teaching that demon a lesson. If you are discovered there, it won't be good. The first elder of the Prophecy Pavilion casually said. It was as if Xiao Changtian was able to deal with the demons. No, first elder, that senior you mentioned, didn't he have no cultivation at all? Prime Minister Lu was still in a daze. This was simply impossible. No, Prime Minister Lu, don't tell me you still think Senior is just a mortal. At this moment, the great elder of the secret pavilion finally reacted. It turned out that this Prime Minister Lu had always treated Senior as a mortal. No wonder he felt that Prime Minister Lu was so strange to Senior. Is the great elder really not? But even if I used all my energy, I still couldn't find any difference between him and a mortal. After the great elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets said this, Prime Minister Lu finally came to his senses. It turned out that he was shallow. No wonder Xiao Changtian was called Senior by the people of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets. That Senior must be very powerful, because Prime Minister Lu didn't feel any power from Xiao Changtian, but he could beat that terrifying demon so badly. From this, it could be seen that Senior was not an ordinary person. He was already an expert who had cultivated his cultivation to the acme of perfection. He was actually so short-sighted in the beginning. They thought that Xiao Changtian was just a mortal. Prime Minister Lu, sometimes what you see in front of you is not necessarily true. Also, we can't guess what Senior is thinking. So I think you know what to do. The great elder of the Prophecy Pavilion looked at Prime Minister Lu and said slowly. Prime Minister Lu nodded seriously at the great elder's words. After all, if he did not have eyes to provoke such an expert, then he would really be too blind. At this moment, Saint Lord 6 was screaming at Xiao Changtian. I beg you, stop fighting. Stop fighting. Finally, Saint Master 6 couldn't help but beg Xiao Changtian. He, aren't you quite powerful? Didn't you want to kill me? How can you only have this much ability now? Xiao Changtian said rudely to Saint Lord 6. Since that demon had threatened to kill him, he would definitely not stay behind. Therefore, Xiao Changtian would not be soft-hearted towards Saint Lord 6. Expert, please let me go. I didn't recognize Mount Tai. I shouldn't have said such words. Saint Lord 6 was about to explode from his spiritual power. If Xiao Changtian didn't stop, he would definitely be killed by Xiao Changtian with his bare hands. It's not impossible for me to let you go. However, you have to tell me who exactly is colluding with you from the Jade Nether Kingdom. Xiao Changtian looked at Saint Lord 6 and finally stopped. He didn't forget about the important matter. Ill talk. It's that guy called Prime Minister Sunday. It's him. Holy Master 6 didn't even think about it and revealed Prime Minister Sunday. Alright, the ruler treats Prime Minister Sun well. But this Prime Minister Sun was actually so bold to collude with the demons. The country ruler will definitely not let him off. Prime Minister Lu, who was in the room, naturally heard what Holy Master 6 had said. This Prime Minister Sun was absolutely detiable. He had actually done such a thing. He was simply a sinner of the Jade Nether Kingdom. It would not be too much to drag such a person out and whip his corpse 100 times. At this moment, Saint Master 6 looked at Xiao Changtian with a trembling face. How could this man be so powerful? Why did he look like a mortal when he was at the glorious Star Restaurant? How did things turn out like this? No wonder the demonic flame Sacred Lord told him not to provoke Xiao Changtian. It seemed that he was really unlucky. Prime Minister Sun, how are you? Xiao Changtian also remembered this Prime Minister Sunday. Expert, I've already said it. Can you let me go now? Saint Sovereign 6 looked at Xiao Changtian in panic. He was really afraid that Xiao Changtian would beat him to death if he was unhappy. Fortunately, when he went to the glorious Star Restaurant to look for trouble, he had taken someone else's body. If Xiao Changtian knew, he would have been the one looking for trouble. He would definitely not let her off easily. Walla. Just as Holy Master 6 finished speaking, the sound of other demons trying to enter could be heard from outside the wall. F***CK. It was over. Why did he come at this time? This Xiao Changtian was not to be trifled with. Upon hearing this commotion, Holy Master 6 was also stunned. It seemed like it was time for Prime Minister Sun to arrange for someone to look for the Great Elder of the Prophecy Pavilion. However, in the current situation, even if so many people came, they were still not Xiao Changshan's match. Xiao Changtian naturally noticed the commotion outside and immediately panicked. Why were there so many people? There were so many people. Even if he had so much cultivation, he would not be able to deal with them. You can go first. If I meet you in the future and you're still so arrogant, don't blame me for being impolite. Xiao Changtian was anxious to warn the Great Elder, but the devil in front of him had not left yet, so he could only let him go for now. Saint Sovereign 6 limped out after hearing Xiao Changshan's words. My lord! Why are you here? Just as Holy Master 6 walked out of the courtyard, Premier Sun shouted excitedly. How is it, my lord? You've already taught him a lesson, right? We should start the next step, right? Prime Minister Sun said excitedly as he looked at Holy Master 6. As long as he could succeed this time, then the position of the country's ruler would be his. Thinking of this result, Premier Sun's face was so happy that flowers bloomed. What do you mean start? Retreat. Saint Lord said fiercely as he looked at Prime Minister Sunday. Even if these people went over, with Xiao Changtian around, they would be sending themselves to their deaths. No, sir, what do you mean? After hearing Holy Master 6's words, Prime Minister Sun was stunned on the spot. What was wrong with this demon lord? This was a critical moment. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.